Hey everybody, welcome back to Dunrovin Ranch in lovely Lola, Montana. It is a balmy, feels like 80, but I bet it's 61 and a half. Anyway, this is Training Mystery and Augie, and I am your ranch manager, Kelly. And I'm on with, of course, Brandon Carpenter. Hey, Brandon.
Hi, Kelly. How's everybody?
I think we're good. We're good here at the ranch. Is it sunny where you are?
It is sunny and a really nice day. So one of those nice fall days where you're trying to get as much as you can done before they end.
Yes. Yeah, we're fastening tarps, laying pipe, winterizing as quickly as we can. So, Brandon, I've had Mystery out on a couple trail rides, and he was spectacular.
Good.
Yeah, he's settling down. He still gets excited and kind of fast, but, you know, the paciness is rapidly going away, and I'm doing what you said. I'm just letting him walk out and checking him when he starts getting a little pacey. He's terrific. I went out with Suzanne and some friends up to Blue Mountain, and there were bicycles and all that kind of stuff, and he looks, but he doesn't care, which is wonderful.
Yep, that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, and she wanted me to gate him up there, and all I have to do is think about it, and he goes, and he was lovely. A couple things in the arena. He doesn't like that side, and I'm working on his gaits on that side because he just really doesn't, a combination of not liking that side anyway and me. And then bridling is becoming actually more of an issue. Okay. So I thought today it would be nice to do this together.
Yeah, that sounds like a good thing. A couple things. What is it about your first comment about where he likes to avoid or doesn't want to be in the around the next to the rail, next to the boat?
Yeah, the rail by the road.
Okay, so what is it there? Is it always consistent, different changes? Is there something that he's doing on?
Not that I can identify. Okay. He just seems to feel maybe insecure over there.
Okay.
Is a guess. He doesn't like being on the rail. I'm not fighting him on the rail. You know, I'm not looking for show horse on the rail, but just he gets a little stressed over there, I'm going to say.
Okay, so it really doesn't matter why he doesn't want to be there. The fact is he needs to comply.
Yes.
So if you're going a little fast, if you're getting the gate, I think I heard you say that you got him gating along there, just slow him up. If there's something that he needs to get used to, slow his mind down by slowing his body down so he can look around there. And if you need to just dog walk back and forth past there, go one in, turn right around and come back and do that until he settles down, or if you find a spot where he wants to look or is unsure about or wants to move away from, make him go to it, make him smell it, look at it, even just stand there for a little bit and get comfortable with it. So do those sorts of things, and then go ahead and work out again, make him go past it by speeding up, just as you were before when he didn't want to do that. So it's about slowing it down for him. Okay. And just confronting whatever it is that he thinks is the problem. Now, one thing I notice here, I'm gonna have to help you a little bit. Notice how he's creeped up on you. There you go. Good. Very good. He's invading your space a little bit, so don't let him do that. Make him stand back with the seat. He's taking a step forward. So.
And one more time, how about the next time I whack him? Is that correct?
Yes. Don't. What you're doing is you're begging him not to come forward. Don't beg him to do anything. Tell him that he's not to do that. And you're nurturing him to death, and he's gonna he'll just keep doing whatever he thinks he can get away with to get closer.
Okay.
Okay. Now, see how he's been before. There we go. Good. Yeah, and you're not giving him any reason to come in. He's got a loose lead. He needs to stand. Look, notice the face.
And look at the lip.
Look at the lip. Look at those ears laid back a little bit. He's like, really?
Yeah, that that didn't work.
Right.
It must be Thursday at 2 o'clock. That didn't work.
Well, and this is very
No,
important.
I'm teasing. I know.
No, I know. But look what he's doing. He is trying to take charge of the relationship.
Mm.
Right?
Okay.
Go right back to basics, and it's about herd behavior. And so don't let him be the one who dominates or even decides how this relationship is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is going to lead in next to the bridling issue.
Okay.
So is he doing the same thing when you bridle him as well as halter him?
No.
Okay. So halter is no issue.
Haltering's no issue. I can even, if his head's a little high, I can bring his head down and he'll leave it there for the halter. It's when I start to bridle him and I put his head down and lift up the reins to go over his head, and he throws his head way up.
Okay.
And bringing his head back down, it's just, well, you tell me. I'll show you and you tell me.
Yeah, no, that's good.
And he's fighting there.
Okay. Yep.
Drop your head. He doesn't want to leave it down. He just tries to avoid me.
Yep. He's wanting to. Hey, no, I don't think I need to do this.
Now, I've released the actual pressure on him. Do I want to take my hand away or just start to bridle him?
No, what you want to do is you need to break this down and slow this down as well. You're
Okay.
getting in a hurry to have that bridle on him because you know it's a fight and you're wanting to okay, I got to get this thing on so we can get past this, right?
Right.
Am I misreading that with you?
No, I want to get it done.
Okay. So it's taking you longer to get it done than it would be to slow down and do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that's all right. I mean, this is kind of a normal reaction on our part because we got things to do. We got a timeline. We want to get it done. We want to do this. So, just put your bridle up on the crook of your arm, and just leave it there. Now, reach up and put some pressure on the pole of his head, on the pole of the neck, and just make him drop that head down. And as he moves it, then just each time that he gives to your pressure, take the pressure off, and then just let him hold that head down without touching it.
I'm putting pressure. I'm releasing my pressure.
The instant he starts to move that head down, then release the pressure.
There I am.
And then praise him for it.
Good boy. Good boy. Good boy.
Keep coming down. Go all the way so his nose is almost touching the ground.
Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. There you go. A little further.
There you go. You're pulling him right back around where you were. Perfect. Good job. Absolutely good job. Try it again. There you go. Keep going down. There you go. Keep going.
Good.
Keep going. This is an exercise. Better. Good. That's better. See how he's starting to give to you a little bit? Good.
There we go.
There you go. Keep coming. Now just give him a minute there, just like you're doing. This is really good. See how he's starting to say, "Oh, crap." Look, that lower lip. Notice that?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now just ask him again and keep going. And, he puts his head down to drink and he puts his head down to eat. He can do this.
Good boy.
And keep going down. So it's all about, so that that buckle on that bridle or the ring on the bridle is at about your knee height.
Now he's trying to tell me how low he'll go.
Right.
There we go. Good boy.
Getting better. And let's go ahead and overdo that and make that, let's say that ring right there on his nose band, where that cheek piece meets the nose band.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that's about, somewhere just above your knee. So that his head goes that low. You don't have to touch the ground with it, but close.
I am putting so much pressure on there, and he's absolutely ignoring me. There you go. Good boy.
Yeah, there. And you're going to have to do that. You may get a hand cramp doing it, but the instant he starts to take that pressure away from your hand, then totally release the pressure. And then go right back to it to keep dropping him down.
So what I'm doing is I'm using my middle finger and my thumb.
Yes.
And okay. Because I'm not using the palm. I'm not using my palm. I'm using my thumb and middle finger, and then that's where I'm releasing from. Yes.
Yes, and you're going to squeeze them together, and you're going to push. You're going to push straight down towards the ground.
Yes.
You're also going to squeeze those hips together.
Yes.
As that, if you use your palm, you can't possibly put enough pressure on him to make him move.
Good boy. Good boy. See?
There, he just squished his tail. Good. And then go ahead and go down.
Nope. Nope. There you go.
You're doing the right thing. And this, you know what? This might be all we get done today. And if it is, that's fine.
Okay.
Because what we've
Good boy.
We've got a hole in the behavior. Got a hole in the training.
He's doing this on his own. He's doing this on his own. Good boy.
Good.
Good. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Now, this is interesting because I'm not giving him any pressure.
Right. You shouldn't be.
Good.
But he does feel your hand on there.
Yeah.
So make sure that when you give pressure or take it off, that it is definite, that you're not mixing signals with just your palm. And he can figure that out. You can leave your hand on there without putting pressure on him.
Good boy. There you go. Now he's licking and chewing. He's not just, there we go. Good. How about a little lower? Good boy. Good boy.
Keep coming down. Because right now
Good
he's down.
boy.
See, that's the new boundary he has, is that, I only have to go this far down. No,
right.
I can go all the way down.
All the way down. There we go. Good boy. All the way. Good boy. There we go. This is where I want, right there.
Keep going down. Let him sit for just a little bit. There you go. That was just about the perfect timing.
Good boy.
Keep going. Good job. You're getting there.
Good boy.
There,
Good. There we go.
You're getting better.
Good. That's what I'm right there, buddy.
There you go. That's where I like to see it.
Good boy.
Really, this is not a height that's really usable for you, right?
Right.
You still have to bend over, but that's not the point. The point is getting him to drop his head as much as you need him to.
Yes. So again, patience and not giving up.
Yes. And being very deliberate, and the timing is everything on this. You'll notice with your hand, when you put that pressure on them and he starts to drop his head, you release the pressure. If he starts to pick that head up, you need to increase the pressure.
Yes.
Which I know you were doing. I could tell by the way you were holding on. There's no doubt you were maintaining the pressure on there.
Right. Good boy. Good boy. I almost called you Woggy.
Now go ahead and take your hand away. Let his head come up if it wants, and we'll just start over. Now pet him. There you go. Praise him for that.
Good boy. There you go.
And let's just give him about 20 seconds, 30 seconds to kind of think about what he just did. Let that head come right back up, and it's in the natural spot right now. Very good. So what I would do now is start over and have him drop that head all the way down as easily as possible.
Good boy. There we go.
Little curve. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh.
Keep going. Oh, there you go, right there.
Good boy.
Yeah, and as he tries to bring that head up, then continue to hold it. Don't let him bring it up any further, but hold it back down there. I pushed him down just a hair more. There you go.
Yeah, he creeps up, you know, a quarter inch, half an inch. But this is also good. It's also good for his back, so it's a good thing all the way around.
It is, yeah. There's nothing bad about it.
Right.
Very good. Now I'd go ahead and let him have his head up and praise him again, because that was much easier and a lot less time to do that.
Good boy. He's got that irritated nose wrinkle, which
Good.
I know. For some sick reason, I enjoy that.
Well, you should, because that's not because you're being mean. It's because you're dominating the relationship, and you have to be. You have to be the dominant member of this herd.
I know. Life is hard.
Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead. There you go. Reach up. Now have him do it again. We're going to do the same thing all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. All the way down and hold. There you go. Keep going. You're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it. Okay. Now, you see how he's kind of twisted in a pretzel shape?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still got some mental resistance there. So there, that's better. That's better. He's straightening out and relaxing a little bit more. We want him to do this completely relaxed. There we go. Good. Good. Let him up. He's held it, so let him up. Good boy.
Good boy. I know. Look at him chewing.
We're going to do this until you can get him to drop that head all the way down in one continuous motion all the way to the bottom of where we left him.
Okay.
And we'll do that about successfully for about a half a dozen different times.
Okay. Have you heard? Did you hear that?
We really need to do the repetition here.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
Much better.
Good boy. Good boy.
Now start to take your hand away, but don't. And if he picks that head up, then squeeze him and make him move away from your hand. Keep it down.
Good boy.
Yes, like that. See how he dropped that away from you?
Yes.
Like that. Yeah.
Now can I let him up?
Nope. Keep him down because he's still resisting. So push him down. There you go. Hand getting a cramp?
Nope.
Okay, good.
Good boy.
Well, notice he's walking backwards trying to avoid this. He's trying to get away from it. That's okay. He can try that, but just stick with him.
Good boy. Good
there
boy.
You go.
Good
Very
boy.
Good.
There we go. Good.
Now you notice the ring of that halter is closer to your knee or below it. Good.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Now, when the moment he relaxes, and give him a couple more seconds, now let him up. Very good.
Good boy.
Okay. Notice how you've got to give him that amount of time to quit fighting you and to quit resisting and to relax into it, put his head down, and without you pushing it down, then it's time to let him up. That's the reward.
Okay.
Okay. So that was really pretty good. It wasn't perfect, so we're going to get 6 perfect ones right in a row. This is very, very important. I mean, you can't undersell how important this is.
Mm. Good boy.
Good. Very good.
Good boy. There you go. Good boy. Down. There you go. Good boy. And it's interesting. I don't need nearly the pressure.
That's right. Exactly right. Because in his mind now, he knows that he's got to go down there. Might as well just do it with a simple touch.
Yeah. Okay, good boy. There you go. Here we
There
go.
we go. And let him up whenever you feel ready. Oh, good job. Your hand is very, very light. I can see it from here.
Yeah. Good boy. So on last Thursday, Suzanne measured his overstep at the step pace, and I think it was 16 inches.
At a stepping pace?
At the step pace, his overstep was 16 inches.
Okay.
We were just playing around. Okay.
But if you put him in a that's not bad for a stepping pace. If you put him into a true pace, I'll bet you he'll go over 20. He'll really stretch.
Good boy. This is awesome, Brandon. Good boy.
Okay, so you're kind of a type A personality, right? You're a little impatient.
You know what? Who knows? I'm very impatient.
Well, we all are. But look what this bought you. How much time are you going to save now? Because we still got to get the bridle on him, which is step 2 of this, right?
Yeah.
But
well, it saved me. It saved the people around me. My mood the rest of the day is what it did. Good boy.
All right. Now, when he picks that head up, notice it's a lot lower than it was.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he's even more relaxed. Very good. Now he's quitting. There his lip is going again.
But not bad.
Not bad. He's starting to give up.
You know, we had a wrangler here for a couple of months who, after a ride, she would have them lower their head and relax them before she put them up.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. It's just good discipline. There you go. That's once. That's a really good one. He had a slight hesitation, but we'll give that to him. So there's one time.
Yeah.
We'll do 5 more of those exactly like that if we can. He's relaxed. He's holding. His whole body is relaxed. He's in line. He's not pushing away, trying to pull his head away. That's really, really good. You'll notice it's these very, very small, subtle things that you don't notice that can get away from you. Then pretty soon you got an issue, and you don't know what to do about it because nothing really definitive has happened to make it happen. There you go. Good job. There's 2. Very good. Very good. Good. He's fighting that one a little bit on the bottom, but this isn't the cure-all as far as he'll never do this again. This is something he has learned that he can try to manipulate you. So it's kind of something he's put in his toolbox. So now we got to make sure that he never opens that box up to use it. Okay.
And I've got the anecdote now. So
yeah.
Look at that one.
Good one. Very good.
Good.
Very good. Very nice. Very good. Give him a minute there. When he quits using those big old bumble lips to display his obvious contempt for this whole exercise. One that he brought upon himself.
Yes.
There we go. Let him relax about 15, 20, 30 seconds. And this is where you're watching paint dry. I see his head starting to drop just a little bit. That's good.
Yeah, he's blinking slowly. He's relaxing.
Yeah. Good. There we go. You can see that nose drop down just a little bit, and that top line come down. Very good. All right. Very good.
Yeah, about 3/4 of the way I need to get him again, but...
Yeah.
Can you move your head over this way? Now look at this. Now he thinks every time I move my hand, I'm going to get him. Now I think that might be a little avoidance, huh? Or no?
Yes.
Okay. So, but he's avoiding it in a way I want.
Yes.
I guess. Oh, I forgot everyone. The phone. There you go. Oh, I forgot everyone. I have the ranch phone on me. Sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry, I had to. That was put there. You go. Oh, good boy.
Good. Very good. Now, what I would have to do, we're going to go to another step after you do about 3 more of these.
Good boy.
Okay. Look at him. That's good. Yeah. Now, instead of touching him up right behind the pole, move your hand back about a hand's width difference, or back down his neckline, so that you're just asking him. You're just reaching up and asking him to. Right there we go. Very good.
I'm still squeezing though.
That's okay.
That's
all
okay.
right.
Good. Good boy. Nose in the dirt low.
Yep,
I love that expression.
That's absolutely perfect. And look at him. He's content to stand there. He's
Mm-hmm.
chewing.
Good boy. He said, I might as well stay down here if you're going to ask me again. Good boy.
Very good.
Yeah, good. You're a good man.
You'll notice he held that head down there a little bit, and when he figured out you weren't asking him to hold it down, he lifted it right back up.
Mm-hmm.
But he was caught about halfway down there thinking, I need to keep my head down.
Mm-hmm.
Bobcat Gal says that he's dunking for apples.
Yeah.
Kind of is that time of year, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. And just reach up and do it again. There you go. Very good. And now what I would do is I would lighten that hand up, and then when he pushes against you, then give him a little bit of a, there you go, good. A little bit of a squeeze to give him some pressure down. Good. Very good.
Oh, I think we just cracked our neck. I felt something under my hand. Yeah, now for that little one, I didn't even use my fingers. I just put it, oh, yeah. There you go. Good.
You're just touching him with a little bit more pressure, right?
Right.
Yep, and that's the whole point, is that we need to make less and less of an issue.
Good.
Very good. Okay, we're running out of time here, so let's go ahead and reach up and put the bridle on him now. So drop that head down and hold the head down. Okay. If I were you, Kelly, I would put the reins around his neck.
You're not over his ears, but like this?
Yeah. Now you can control that head a little bit. Put the reins. Well, no. Put your reins together, and put 2 of them like you've got 2 ropes to go around his neck. Put it up there close to his pole. There you go. Now, when he starts to move away from you, you can hold him in place. Now, pull down on the rope a little bit, or your reins a little bit, to see if you can pull his head down. There you go. Now reach up behind between his ears with your right hand. There you go. Now reach that around. And you can push that head down. Don't let him pick that up. There you go. Now you can reach that bit in there. See how low his head is? Lower than you need it. Look at that.
So what I'm doing with my right hand is I was pinching him a little bit, right, until he drops it, just like before.
Yeah, and you don't really even have to pinch it. Now you can just put pressure on there like you did on further back on his neck, and he should respond for you. Is that easier?
I don't even know what to say. Yes, of course.
Some days you just gotta hate me, don't you?
You know, we all think our instructors are devils and wizards. And
well,
both
you're
are,
right on one of those.
And you're one of them. Should I do it again?
If you wish. But yeah, go ahead. How is he about taking the bridle off? Very good. Okay, good. So I would take the reins off of him and just start over from scratch. Now, do me a favor if you would, and I know you don't do this a lot, but let's go ahead and wrap the reins around him. Put them up on his neck. Oh, look how he dropped that head for you. There we go. There we go. Now use those reins and just drop his head all the way to the ground with just using the reins as pressure. There you go.
Good boy. There, see, there you go. There you go. Good boy. Good boy.
There, and have him tip that head towards you so that if he fights you, he has to pull his head away from you so he doesn't bang you in the face or the chest or something. Very good. I'd go ahead and bridle him. There you go. Important to get that head down, keep it down, and then put the bridle up. There you go. Now, I would even slow up what you did there, as I wouldn't approach that bridle over his head until he quits fighting you and just stands there. Because you're when it was down, like that. Now, and he holds that head down, as you approach with that bridle to go in front of his face, if he picks it up, don't approach it. Make him keep that head down until he relaxes, then bring the bridle up, so that he has to stay still for you to approach with that bridle. Because if you try to put it on with him moving around in spite of it, now you've got to fight again, and he's able to resist.
Right. Then he's won. Then he's won this little battle again.
A tiny little battle. That's all it takes is a tiny little one for you to have hope that you can expand on that and get more control.
Right.
There you go. Look where his head's at. It's right down there where you can work on it. About arm height.
Good boy. Good boy. Don't worry, you'll live to fight another day. All right.
I hope that helps.
Oh, my God, tremendously. And, you know, Brandon, all these things, not only does it help mystery, but it helps, you know, every single thing for the rest of the day, you know, for the rest of everything. It helps no matter what you do.
Okay, now I got a question for you for a little bit of self-evaluation. Who else has ridden him? Who else has ridden him?
Nobody.
Okay. So who else has bridled him?
Yes, it's my fault.
Okay, there we go.
I have, believe me, I have no doubt about that.
Okay, well, and I'm not trying to scold you at all. It's just about self-evaluation, right?
Yeah.
And I do the same thing. Don't get me wrong. I am not perfect. I will do stuff and go, crap, I screwed that up, right?
Yeah.
So all I'm asking you to do is to have a self-evaluation and think about, okay, what did I do? What could I have done different? You know, and think outside of what you think you did, and think what are the possibilities of what I may have done.
Yeah, well, I know what I do. You know, and I just know that as you notice is, one, I'm impatient.
Yep.
Two, I'm often running late. You know, and there's people waiting, and the trailer's full, and I got to get on, and you know. But this is more important than making people wait 5 more minutes.
Well, it is, and what happens is you get behind, you get in a hurry, and you start to hurry things, and the faster I go, the further behind I get.
Yes, that's true.
And then it becomes that self-perpetuating. It just goes south because now nothing works, and it just carries over into everything you do because now you're trying to hurry even more,
Yeah.
more and faster to catch up, and it doesn't work. So take your time, be quiet, settle, and it'll happen faster.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
kind of a whole lesson for the I guess the whole philosophy about the training of the horse in general. Look how much time we spend on the ground, right?
Right.
And the more you spend on the ground, the more you get that right, the faster the rest of it goes.
That's completely true, because now he says, "Oh, I'm not the boss of her today."
That's right. And tomorrow he's going to try it again. He will try it again, but it's a matter of stopping that immediately and correcting it. So you've got a little something to work on with the rail, kind of do that, and kind of that lesson is the same, right? Slow it down. Yeah.
Break it down into it. This is like teaching kids. You know, you break it down into small pieces.
Yes.
And you build your way up to the end.
Yes, exactly. So let's see what you got going with Augie now.
Okay, he's pretty good.
Good. Because we've only got like 24 minutes left.
Holy moly. So, but that's okay, because I'm not going to rush or be impatient.
Right. And see what I just did to you?
I know. You made me nervous.
I made you think about it.
Yeah. I'm going in here. I'm taking off my helmet. So I think it's been going well with Augie. I've just been, working on the same kind of thing. He hasn't been cheating me, really. He's been paying really good attention. Last week, turning away from me. Turning toward me. Going to the right is excellent. Okay. And going to the left, I did have to spell it out for him, like turn your head. He just really, really didn't want to do it. So I'll show you that in a minute. Okay. I like how you're starting nice and slow. You're controlled. He's calm. You're in the center. You're not chasing. You're doing everything right. Thank you.
Okay, you know what he's doing there?
Blanking with me?
Yes. He's trying to take control of one of the three things he can take control of. It's the direction he's moving, the speed he's moving, and how fast he's moving. Or speed, direction, speed, and whether or not he's moving at all.
Yeah, he's deceptive. Because you wouldn't have predicted that. Well, if you didn't know him.
Right.
Yeah, last week in order to get him, we had been working 5 or 10 minutes or so, and suddenly he's not walking. I asked him with my right hand. I asked him with my left hand, and then I whacked him, and he's like, okay.
Yep.
I guess that's the deal. So I'm going to ask him to come toward me in reverse. Is that okay?
Yeah, you do anything you want to do. Absolutely. Okay, turn your body a little bit more. There you go. Look at that. I suspect if you'd have turned your body sooner, he would have come off the rail quicker.
Okay.
Because you're basically holding him on there with your energy. You're just pushing against him.
Okay. I'm going to run it by Suzanne, but what I'd like to do is set up, a trail course, obstacle course out in our North Pasture for the winter. And we can start, maybe driving him over stuff and maybe playing with him.
That'd be a really good thing. And it doesn't have to happen a lot. There you go. Body's better. Good. Oh, look at him pick that head up and say no. Did you see that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, very good. Very good.
I can calm down my steps a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. You're doing fine though. You're not asking him to do anything really fast.
Yeah.
But you've turned both ways a couple times, and now just to see how he does, you could turn him the other direction because he's going to anticipate that you're going to have him turn towards you.
Mm-hmm.
And you could turn him the other direction and see how he reads you, or whether he picks up on that cue to turn the other direction right away.
He's a very good horse for me to learn on because he's so slow and I'm so not.
Yeah.
That it's just like a knife in the heart.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine. It's good. He's cheating me a little bit.
Now you know how mystery feels.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Right? It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
And that relationship perspective.
Oh.
So he's slowing you down. There you go. There you go. Now push him away from you when you get a chance.
Okay. He's looking and chewing.
Oh, okay, good, good. Yeah, his head's out of my view right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's not looking at me yet.
Okay, I can see his shadow of his nose moving around, I think, or it might be pixelation of the picture too.
Mm-hmm. He's doing a little bit, but what I'm getting from him right now is he's not giving in. So we're gonna stand. I'd like to stand here until he looks at me.
No, that's fine. That's exactly the right thing to do. You need to get his attention, so he's at least engaged.
Yeah, he's not. He's right now. What he's doing is he's refusing to turn off his PlayStation. That's what he's doing right now. The other morning, Taylor came out to feed, and he was standing on the bridge in the arena all by himself.
Oh, funny.
Yeah. Hey, Augie. So we could be having a battle of the wills right here. Should I ask him to walk, or should I just wait?
What I would do is I would completely turn him away from you the other way, completely change everything you've done, because what he's doing now is he is now controlling the direction and the speed in which he's moving, right?
Yes, correct. Right.
And he's making a decision, and you're not able to do anything, so it's time to move him.
Okay.
And your timing was about right there when you asked. Very good. Ooh, good. That livened him up a little.
Sometimes it seems like he's still learning how to get his feet under him and how to move. Is that possible still?
He's probably
not really.
I mean, he's getting old enough now. That will happen, especially when you start getting on him. That'll completely change. But he might be just gawking and not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, he should be pretty well. You know, he's what, 18 months old now?
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Yeah.
I'm going to I'm going to bring him down to a walk.
Okay. Good job.
And again, maybe smoother this time. Walk. We don't know this, do we? That's better.
Good job. Very good. You took the pressure away from him by moving backwards away from that. Outstanding.
Yeah, earlier I was backing up and moving to the left, which obviously defeats the purpose. So let's do that. No, I don't want him to turn away from me. I want him. No, I did.
Yes, you did. You did exactly the right thing. There you go. Now, what I would do is you brought him down to a walk to do that, which is great. You wanted to make sure to execute the turn correctly, right?
Right.
Now, I would turn him other directions at the trot.
Oh, fun.
Yep. Because we want him to respond at a different speed and do the same thing. So what we'll do is he'll probably hang up. He may hit the rail with his shoulder or something, but he's going to pick himself up. There you go. There you go. Faster, faster, faster. Okay, don't let him slow down to a walk to do it.
Oh, you want me to really do it? Okay.
Yeah. Because what he did is he was trotting until the time to turn, and then he stopped and turned, just like as he would with a walk. There you go. Much better.
Oh, that's fun.
Much better. See how easy he made that turn? Very good. Now, the more speed you put into it, the more engaged he's going to have to become with you mentally, because his mind is working faster. Oh, good job. Now, he kind of hung up on you, but that's okay. You corrected him. Good job. Good job. All right. Very good. Now, I would use my whip less and my hand more.
Okay.
You're kind of getting pretty liberal with the whip instead of asking with the hand.
Ah, look at this. Ha! That's nice. Yep.
Yeah, he's not anticipating being scolded right away. You're giving him a chance to comply with simple communication.
Gotcha.
Very, very important. Very important.
If we make the turn and he leaves the turn at a walk, hand and then my whip, but still always the hand, right?
Yes, that's exactly right. You've got it exactly right. Very good. Very good. Now we just got to get you to not chase him too much around the arena.
Okay.
Or around that little corral. Just stay stationary in the center.
Okay.
While I'm going to work on more and more subtle control.
For the turns, even?
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes.
Okay.
Because if he knows what signals you're giving him, and you're very clear and concise, and you ask him, then you don't have to chase him, right?
Right.
So that's something to work on for next time. Let's see how he does. And you can do this where he turns the easiest way he turns. Set it up so you give him every advantage to do it right.
Right.
Yep. And if he doesn't turn, then you get right on him and make him execute that turn with more pressure. And that way, the next time you're in the center and he does it, if he should be set up to do it right. And if he doesn't, you pressure him out of it again. Better, much better, much better. You're not chasing him quite as much. And it'll take a little bit to get there to where it's just really, really subtle, where you're just standing there and just lifting a hand and then getting him to turn that way in your body position.
So basically, he's following my hand. So if I take a step back and point to the right, he should turn around and go to the right.
Yes.
Oh, I'm turning into a wizard.
Yes. So try that. There you go. There, he's watching you at least. Look at that.
No,
It wasn't. It's okay. It wasn't great, but
no.
He at least stopped and watched you, though, Kelly. Did you see that?
Yes. Well, I was not even firm in believing what I wanted to do, so I can give him that.
Well, and you got to remember, that's a little bit different than what you've been asking, so you got to cue him to that.
Mm-hmm. He's waiting for me now.
That was not a failure. That was a little bit of success. You have to look at him in that terms to be able to build on what you saw happen rightly. Oh, good job. Look at that. Very good. Very good.
Good boy, Og. Yes.
You feel the difference in control.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Good boy, Augie. Licking and chewing.
I would quit him right there.
Yeah, I think that was good.
Yeah. Now, can you have it? Will he come to you?
You can try it.
Okay. So drop your whip. Get rid of that thing. There you go. Get a good clear whoa. There. Now stop right there.
Oh, sorry. I kept walking.
That's okay. That's all right. As long as you touched him. There you go. Okay. See how his head turned?
Yeah?
Okay. Go back to his side and come straight away from him at the same direction you came in. Don't walk in front of him.
Okay.
Walk to the center of the corral. There you go. Right there. Okay. We're going to have to work on that.
Yes.
So it's very hard to get him to move when you walk straight away from him in front of him. He doesn't have to do anything. He can just watch you go. When you walk to the side of him, he will turn his head and have to come with you. A little bit too much. You went back or towards his back end. Go straight out at a 90-degree angle away from his side. Right to the
like perpendicular to his belly?
Yes.
Okay. We'll work on that because he's thinking about it because now he's looking at me.
Right. So go up and really pet him, really stroke his neck one more time. Let's ask him.
All right, buddy.
Stroke that neck. You got his attention. His eyes watching you. There you go. Now walk away and ask him to come with you.
Come with me. Oh, son of a...
There you
God.
go. Good.
Damn it, Brandon. No, you're amazing. Thank you so much for what you're doing for me and for all the horses.
Oh, I'm not really amazing. I've just been doing it a long time. It's predictable.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think that was good for both of them today, all three of us today.
Yeah, and how is he? You haven't put anything on his head yet as far as a bridle, right?
No, should we do that?
We haven't got much time.
I mean, not today, but yeah.
Yeah, you could do that on your own, but you know what to do, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's exactly the same thing. Haltering for him is no issue either, isn't it?
No, not at all.
Okay. I would do what continue doing what you're doing with him, and I would try to put a bridle on him, put it in his mouth. Warm the bit up, obviously, in your hand.
Yes, yes.
But make it as easy for him as possible. This is all your groundwork, and you're not going to hurt him by putting a bit in his mouth.
Right.
You're not going to hurt him.
Should I pull the reins off it?
No, heck no.
Okay.
Use those reins.
Gotcha.
The only reason I put the bridle on him without reins is if I'm going to leave them stand with it and get used to that bit on their own. I'll let them stand with that headstall on for a couple of hours with no reins. Just get the reins out of their way, and so you're not stepping on them and pulling on the bit. But
look at this head action.
I see that. Very good. Very good.
Okay, so we'll work on following me. I'll work on being a lot more subtle in my turns, less whip, and we'll be ready. We'll be good with the bridle by next week.
Yeah, and I think breaking up and being less predictable on hit for him, on turning and with both speed and direction, and then trying to be more subtle. I think if you can do that, you're gonna jump up a whole nother level in his responsiveness.
So I can trot this way, make a turn, come back to a walk, stop, Trot. I can just completely mix it up.
Yes, completely mix it up. Remember, you've heard me say this before. Be very consistent about your
Inconsistency.
Yep.
Yes. So they never know. So they always have to pay attention. They can't guess.
Yes, and they're always having to respond to you, not anticipate what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference there.
Sounds good. Actually, around 4 o'clock, I think we're going to take some kids across the river. So I'll take Mystery.
Awesome, good job. Well,
yeah.
you've done a great job today. I don't see any reason to go any further with him right now. You're at a really, really good stopping spot because he's calm. He's done most everything you've wanted pretty easily, and and you're getting more subtle as well.
Okay. Thanks so much, Brandon.
You bet. Well, thank you and good job. And we'll are we on next week?
I'm always on. So whenever you're available, that'd be great.
I think I am. I think I'll be good for next week. So it shouldn't be an issue.
Okay. Fantastic.
All right.
Hey, don't work too hard.
Yeah, right.
I know. Thanks again, bud.
You betcha. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Hey, thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching. That was fun. There's a lot going on today. 3:30, I believe, is Hobie Hair with Suzanne. And then at 4:30, we've got something else, I think, with Hobie. Isn't that right, Jake? Hobie and Suzanne at 3:30 and 4:30, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? I'm talking to Jake, everyone. It's 4:30 is Brianne? Oh, you guys, Brianne's here at 4:30. That's excellent. All righty. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone from Lolo, Montana, Dunrovin Ranch on this glorious fall afternoon. As happens every time the seasons change, my wonderful friend Hobie Hare comes to visit and to help us mark the seasonal changes. Hobie, I really look forward to your coming because, it takes a moment for all of us to sort of step back and pause and absorb what is happening. You get too engaged in it. You don't just appreciate what's taking place before your eyes.
You're right, and it's amazing. We've had this glorious Indian summer for the past week or so, and it looks like it's going to continue for another week, so we are blessed right now.
We are, yes, the 60-degree weather in western Montana, which is a little bit warmer than usual. But I understand that you and Eric were out earlier in the month, the first of the month, out doing some kayaking and fell upon a little family group.
Yeah, we did. We were traveling near Trout Creek, Montana, which is on Noxon Reservoir, the part of the Clark Fork River that was dammed.
It's west of here, almost to the Idaho border.
Yeah, really close to Idaho. And
yeah.
we took one night away, stayed in a cabin. Then the next day we were kind of wondering, oh no, is the weather going to be crappy or not? But it became really nice, about 55, 60 degrees. And we were paddling across one of the arms of the reservoir, and we see these furry brown heads just kind of going like this. And at first we thought they were muskrats or beavers, but they turned out to be a family of otters.
Oh, that's really a lucky sighting.
It was, and we watched them for about an hour. I should probably more correctly say they watched us for an hour, because they would just disappear 50 feet in front of the boat, in front of the kayaks, and then they'd reappear, and they were just having a grand old time and enjoying that sunny day too.
That's fabulous. Tell me a little something about river otters. They have kits.
Yes.
And how big are their litters?
I'm guessing anywhere between 2 and 6.
Okay.
That probably is a handful right there.
Okay.
So pretty energetic.
And were the kits with them at that time?
We saw at least one, maybe 2.
Okay.
But let's see, it was 1st of October, so I'm guessing those kits were nearly adult size, but a little bit smaller.
Right. So they were dispersing at that point in time anyway. So this could have been the last to leave home.
Could be, and I know females will probably stay with the pod, but for a while. But I'm thinking, like with a lot of other wild animals, there could be some competition down the road. So maybe females or males that want to start their own families have to leave and go find somebody new to hang with.
Yeah. Well, what a wonderful fortuitous opportunity.
Yes.
I've only seen river otters 2 or 3 times in my life. They're just a real treat.
They're wonderful. The same day we saw great blue herons, we saw sandhill cranes, we saw eagles, and by the way, on September 30th, we saw an osprey right at Trout Creek, and I kept thinking that's kind of late, but we were thrilled to see one last osprey in Big Sky Country before October.
Yeah, it could have been somebody migrating through.
It could have been somebody coming south.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I saw one down by the river about that time, and it wasn't one of ours. This is a big flyway. So the osprey go all the way to Alaska. But this particular fall, for me, has been a really interesting one because the mountain that I'm looking at, you are not looking at, you out there, but you commonly do. During sunsets and during sunrises, you often turn the web cameras towards Lolo Peak. And if you will remember, it was a year ago that Lolo Peak burned.
Oh, yeah.
And so new Lolo Peak. And I have found myself being just tickled pink to see little spots of tamarack. The tamarack are coniferous deciduous trees, and deciduous means they lose their leaves, and coniferous means they have cones, so they're not losing their leaves, they're losing their needles.
Yeah.
And they are a hallmark of Montana, western larch. And as I'm looking at the camera, behind the camera, I'm seeing this little V. Do you see in the sunlight?
I do.
V
it's beautiful.
Yes, of tamarack. And my heart is full to know that there are parts of the mountain that were not burned, and there's going to be this wonderful mosaic of old timber and new life, and it's just going to be really fun to watch. But this is the first fall, and I didn't know what to expect because this is one of my favorite views, of course. But we've been having a fabulous fall, although I've been curious about the colors in the leaves. Some years you have vivid, bright oranges in the cottonwoods, and other years it gets a little bit more brown. And this is one of those brown years. Do you know anything about what causes the difference? Is it moisture? Is it the time of frost? What is it?
I'm not sure, but I've noticed the same thing. Like cottonwoods along the Clark Fork in
Yeah.
downtown Missoula tend to be more brown this year.
Yeah.
Our Caraganas have been more dull. They're not
Yeah.
native, but still. And then our sumacs are traditionally vibrant
Vivid.
colors every year.
Yeah.
Amazingly vivid.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just curious. I'm going to have to look that up. If I do, I'm going to put something on the web if I find out what it is that determines how vivid the fall colors are. But of course, that is what fall is all about, are the fall colors, when the leaves take center stage as opposed to the flowers and the blossoms.
Right.
And, you know, in preparing for this, both Hobie and I have been looking into some poems. We've been enjoying marking the changes of the season with poems. And I found myself reading a number of autumn poems, which really led me to think about the emotional aspects of fall. And I wondered if you share what I have been thinking as the emotional aspects of fall, and that is with spring, the colors foretell of warm summers and of easy, when the summertime, when the living is easy. Winter is associated with death and difficulty. And so in some ways, in many of the poems that I read and some that I will read today, really try to capture that beautiful little ephemeral aspects of fall, that part of your enjoyment of these warm days and these golden colors is your knowledge that it will pass quickly. The ephemeral aspects.
Indeed.
Yes. And it sort of it takes you back to some of the statements of understanding. You can't understand the happiness in life unless you understand the sadness. But those are, one complements the other. And the fact that the plants die for the winter to come back, thank goodness, every year. But there's this death period every year, and that our emotions kind of go with that. That fall brings this mixture of emotions that is both happy and sad and melancholy, and yet these days are really precious, almost more precious than the spring days, because in the spring they're only going to get better, and in fall you're going to lose them.
Right, and I just think about it too, how for a lot of people in the northern hemisphere right now, it can be a little bit of a groggy start in the morning because it's darker at whatever our typical wake-up time is, and it feels like it takes a while for the sun to get over the house and warm up the backyard and dry the clothes on the clothesline, or for the cat to want to go outside and play because she's waiting for it to hit 50 degrees or more to find her outside bed. And it just seems like every day it's like this quickening, almost like a reverse quickening of what we see in the spring.
Yes.
Quickening towards stasis or hibernation, and just not stagnation, but just things happening more underground rather than obvious to us.
Yes, yeah, and that's not that the winter and the darkness don't have their own delights. They do. But I think it's us wanting to capture these last few warm rays that make them even sweeter than at other times of the year.
Yeah. And can I share with you one poem that comes to my mind that's not here, but I came across it about a couple weeks ago?
Yes.
I forget the author, but it said that winter is an etching, spring is a watercolor, summer is a oil painting, and autumn is a mosaic of them all. And I forget who said that, but I just love that because it just makes me think about the seasons through art and art through seasons.
Yeah.
Etching, watercolor, oil painting, and then a mosaic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I do think you do experience them all in autumn, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as we were talking just before the camera came on, we had a little snippet of winter
Yeah.
in about 3 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And all of us sort of held our breath thinking, oh no, this could be the real beginning, and we're all just sort of anxious. And so there's that mosaic where winter sort of pushes in at the end of summer, and,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it really is. It's the time of changing, and it can go either way.
Mm-hmm. As it does for anywhere on the planet, I believe. You know.
Yeah. Well, my mind has been on these beautiful autumn colors, and so I actually selected 4 short poems, and they all kind of follow the same theme: the ephemeral nature of autumn and the falling leaves, and how it's here briefly, and you have to capture it while it's here. You have to enjoy these days. You can't stay indoors today thinking you'll have it again tomorrow, because you might not.
No.
This one could be the last. So one of the first poems I'd like to read is by Robert Frost, and it's very short, but it's beautiful. And the title is "Nothing Gold Can Stay." Nature's first green is gold, her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaf's a flower, but only so for an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief. So dawn goes down to day, nothing gold can stay.
It's awesome.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and it really does capture that nothing gold can stay. It's here for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just like the flower.
Just like the flower.
Yeah.
Like the leaves that become flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I have another short one by another famous author. This one is by Robert Louis Stevenson, famous American author.
Mm-hmm.
In the other gardens and all up in the vale, from the autumn bonfires, see the smoke trail. Pleasant summer over, all the summer flowers, the red fire blazes, the gray smoke towers. Sing a song of seasons, something bright in all. Flowers in the summer, fires in the fall. Autumn fires.
Sounds like last summer and fall.
Yes, yes,
I'm
it
glad
does.
it's different this year.
I'm glad it's different this year too.
Yeah.
But that is the time when people start building their fires in their homes again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the smoke curls out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to intercede with a poem?
Sure. How about if I read my short one? I'll save the other one
For
a little.
last. Okay.
So very short. F. Scott Fitzgerald,
Oh.
and it's more of a quote, I believe. It might have come from a poem, but here we go. Life starts all over again when it gets crisp in the fall. And I love that.
I do too.
It gets crisp and everybody's...
Really true. And I'll say, I've always told everybody they're in good shape, and then they're sort of tired from the heat, and then that crisp air comes, and boom, the energy just surges back, and you want to get out there and enjoy that crisp air and fill your lungs with it. You know, fall football days and fall hikes and fall horseback rides.
Or
Great
raking-
time on the year.
Or raking leaves, whatever keeps you
Raking
warm.
leaves, whatever keeps you warm, exactly. Okay, this is another poem from Catherine Towers,
Excuse me,
Whim
sorry.
Wood. And I've chosen this because I think it's a good, what do you call it, precursor to the next poem that I'm going to read, which is by William Shakespeare. It's his sonnet number 73. But this is Whim Wood by Catherine Towers. Into the coppery halls of beech and intricate oak, to be close to the trees, as they whisper together, let fall their leaves, and we die for the winter. Again, it's that winter bringing the death of the plants. Not really a death, but a hibernation, a pulling in, a living underground as opposed to living above ground. That is so much a part of this season. And then I will read William Shakespeare, and hold on with me. I'm not a Shakespeare.
It doesn't matter.
That's right. Theater thespian, but I will try, give it my best. I do like this one. That time of year thou mayst in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none, or few, do hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold, bear rune choirs where late the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day, as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away, death's second self that seals up all the rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such a fire, that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereupon it must expire, consumed by that which it is nourished by. This thou perceivest, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave ere long.
I like it.
Oh, those last two lines. This thou perceivest, which makes love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave ere long. That really captures fall to me.
Mm-hmm.
Loving it so much and knowing that it will fade quickly or gradually, and you don't know which. Always holds surprises.
We don't. I mean, I think it was the last day of September is when we had the sleet and snow in town,
Right.
and I think we've gotten as cold as the very low 20s.
Yes.
And
We've had snow here.
We've had snow, and usually around Halloween there's a good snowstorm to change the trick-or-treaters' costumes.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
and then we set the clocks back before you know it in November, and bam,
Yep.
deep into fall, and here comes winter.
Here comes winter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well-
go ahead.
Okay, this is by W.S. Merwin, M-E-R-W-I-N, so W.S. Merwin, The Love of October. And I found this week, and I just really love it. A child looking at ruins grows younger but cold, and wants to wake to a new name. I have been younger in October than in all the months of spring. Walnut in May leaves the color of shoulders at the end of summer, a month that has been to the mountain and become light there. The long grass lies pointing up hills, even in death for a reason that none of us knows. And the wren laughs in the early shade now. Come again, shining glance in your good time, naked air, late morning. My love is for lightness, of touch-foot weather. The day is yet one more yellow leaf. And without turning I kiss the light by an old well on the last of the month, gathering wild rose hips in the sun.
Oh, that's very beautiful.
I love that. Just
It's-
it's like all about, to me, savoring every single day and moment, and just knowing it could be the last of something until next year,
yes, that fleeting.
and knowing it's coming back. We
Yes.
can just remember that.
Yes, yes. Beautiful time of year. Beautiful time to gather with your friends. Beautiful time to be thinking thoughts of each other and, just savoring what life has to offer us. I have to say that on this particular day, I am so enjoying the view in front of me. The horses, you can see the sun behind them.
Mm-hmm.
The young girls are getting their horses ready for a horseback ride, and it definitely is an autumn day to savor. I also wanted to let you all know that we are having a Halloween celebration. Our celebrations for Halloween have been rescheduled in the past because we just didn't have the staff to support them, but we do this year. So on October 31st, we will have our Halloween celebration from 4 until 7, and any child who shows up in a costume is welcome to go riding with us, and we will have some games and some treats, and we hope to have a big crowd. It's fun.
Hope you have nice weather also.
I hope we do too, but regardless, we hold it.
That's great. That's good. And what are you going to be this year?
Oh, I'm always a witch of some sort.
I don't believe
Yeah,
that. But,
I
you
think
know.
it's my alter ego is some sort of witch. I've always loved the evil characters in the Disney films. My sons will attest to that. Ursula and the women of 101 Dalmatians.
Oh, Cruella de Vil.
Cruella de Vil.
Yeah, she was a mean one.
Yeah, that's right. I always identify with those gals.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it for us today. And thank you for joining us again.
Thank you. That's
Hope.
always been
really
awesome.
Appreciate
Yeah, you
it.
bet.
And we'll see you again in winter.
In
As
December,
but
yeah.
Yes, as winter finally officially arrives.
We'll be
And
here.
we'll see all of you then. And thank you so very much for coming and joining us and sharing this most pleasant sunny afternoon.
Yeah, thank you. And everybody have a great night, a great evening, and a wonderful fall season. And we'll see you in December together.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Take care.